A festive spirit here at the Purple Palace. The holidays and Christmas just around the corner. As it's time now for your McDonald's I'm Loving It starting lineups. The Hornets have lost 5 in a row. The longest losing streak in the West. They're 4-8. Byron Scott in his second year. 18 wins last season. Coached New Jersey to 2 NBA Finals. Won 3 rings with the Lakers. He has Mason West. P.J. Brown is 35. Chris Paul, the rookie sensation. And J.R. Smith, a tremendous athlete. Suns, on the other hand, even though they had their 9-game winning streak snapped, they've won 8 straight at home. They're 9-4 at home after a 1-4 start. Mike D'Antoni playing with a shorthanded team due to injuries, and maybe a little bit of a wake-up call after losing to the Clippers on Saturday night. And there's his lineup, the familiar one: Diaw, Marion, Thomas, and of course the backcourt that they've been starting and have been very successful with. And now it's the Kia keys to the game. Kia Motors, the power to surprise. And here's Thunder Dan.
Gary, so much. Thank you for asking about the keys to the game. And tonight, here are our keys. The first one is get back on D. They got to corral Chris Paul and Mason. Don't let them get all the way to the basket. No easy baskets. Second one is to limit the penetration. On the pick and rolls especially, they're going to go underneath. Make this Hornet team beat you from the outside and then move the ball on offense. They don't want to stand around. They do not want the Hornets defense to get set. They don't want a lot of one-on-one defense. Move the ball, share it like they do most of the time, and lead the league in assists.
3 officials tonight are Mike Callahan along with Matt Boland and Zach Zarba. The Suns playing 5 games in 7 nights, losing Saturday to the Clippers in that battle for first place. But the Suns are 9-1 in their last 10 games. 8 of their next 10 games are on the road, so they'd like to win this one, the getaway game, before they go to Dallas. And there's the rookie we've been talking about, Chris Paul, the 4th pick in the draft out of Wake Forest, a consensus first-team All-American, All-ACC, and a guy who everyone is talking about as being mature beyond his years, a classic playmaker. He is a charismatic leader already for this team.
He really is, and very tough. Almost averaging 6 rebounds a game, 7 assists, 2 steals, 16.5 points per game, plays a lot of minutes, and just, like you said, very mature, knows how to deliver the ball, knows when to get a shot. The only thing he has to work on is his consistent outside jump shot, but for being a rookie coming out of college, very good player.
P.J. Brown, a friend of yours who's been around a long time, a consummate pro, will jump at center. This guy has really had a long career and a very productive career. David West comes up with the basketball, and here comes Paul. Dumps it off to J.R. Smith, who's in his second year after coming out of a prep school in New Jersey. Out it comes to West. West is one of the most improved players in the league. In the early part of the season to Desmond Mason. Mason goes in, reverses, and hits. He came over to trade this year for the Milwaukee Bucks.
And that's what you want to do if you're Mason, because Sean Marion's got to back up just a little bit, make Mason beat you from the outside. Very quick off the dribble, getting to the basket.
Sean Marion, who has 14 doubles in the 19 games this year, dumps it into Roger Bell. Bell gets a screen from Thomas, and Bell not able to get the shot to go. Paul comes down to the rebound. Chris Paul, he's only 6 foot, 175 pounds, but he is a guy you're going to hear a lot about in the years to come. They were so excited when he was available in the draft. They didn't know if they would be able to get him with the 4th pick, but they did. He just turned the ball over, and the Suns will get it back. So Phoenix, who have played the fewest road games of anybody in the league, 6, will get ready to go on the road after tonight. And here's Diaw, beautifully set up by Steve Nash.
Beautiful, right? Steve Nash came off that pick and roll, went all the way to the baseline. Diaw made himself available, bullet bounce pass on the baseline. Diaw lays it in.
Last 3 games, Nash averaging 11.3 assists a game. Here comes Mason from the corner, and Mason has started this game out very hot. You know, he started slow after the trade for Milwaukee, but his game has really started to pick up, averaging almost 12 points in the last 9 games.
Well, like a lot of players in the league, if they get that first shot to go in, take it to the basket, those jump shots start to look a little bit easier.
Hornets up 4-2, and it comes to Nash. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Marion back to Nash, the 3 ball for Steve. Got it! And Nash is proud to own the 3-point zone. And Fulton Holmes proud to own the 3-point zone. And they will donate $150 to Phoenix Suns charities. Nash with his 27th three of the year. And how about this guy? He's on fire here early. Mason with another basket.
Well, just very athletic, getting on the pick and roll, getting all the way to the basket. You got two guys in Sean Marion and Mason who are very athletic, and then you got two guys in P.J. Brown and Kurt Thomas who are just going to bat it in two warriors. So great matchups in both those positions.
As I mentioned earlier, this team was 8-7 at one time. Now they've lost 5 in a row. Longest losing streak in the Western Conference. Mason driving, fouled by Dial. Dan, Dial lately has been getting into a lot of foul trouble early in games.
He has. You know, he's got to realize when he's guarding somebody that he has to force him to his opposite hand. And that time, Mason, being a right-handed player, really wants to go to a strong hand and take it to the middle. Dial's got to back up and force him to his left.
Mason, a 65% free throw shooter, but in the last 9 games, along with his scoring, it's gone up. He's at 72%. He played at Oklahoma State. This guy is quite an artist. He was an art student at Oklahoma State, does oils and landscapes.
So I was talking about there, he wants to go to the right, and Dial just not able to get over there and cut him off, gets the foul.
7-5, and I would say Mason's off to a good start. He scored all 7 of the Hornets' points thus far. And now 8. Suns outscored by Mason, 8-5. 9:54 to go in this first quarter of play. Roger Bell brings it out to Nash. Return from Dial, the 2 by Steve. Thomas, who's been a real monster on the boards as of late, can't come up with that one. Kurt leading the rebounding, 7 of the last 8 games. 11 plus rebounds in 7 of the last 8. Mason kicks it out to J.R. Smith. Paul from outside the 3, and Paul hits it. And he is only shooting 25% from three-point land, and the Hornets haven't missed a shot.
Well, the Hornets went right back to Mason, who has had the hot hand. That time the Suns double-teamed him. He got it out quick, and there wasn't enough rotation on the weak side. Left Paul wide open for the 3.
And there's an offensive foul on Kurt Thomas. So the Suns a little shaky here in the early going. Mike D'Antoni not very happy. 11-5, New Orleans, Oklahoma City, if you will, Baton Rouge Hornets. That's where the Suns will play.
What did you just say?
The Baton Rouge.
Oh, the Big Easy.
And off it comes now to Mason. Mason picked up by Marion, and Mason missed a shot. That's the first miss for this Hornets team. Nash hurrying back the other way. 9 minutes to go in the first quarter. Suns got started very slowly in the last home game, you might recall, against the New York Knicks. They want to get this thing jump-started. Nash from outside goes into the paint. Dumps it off to Dial. Dial to Thomas. Beautifully done. Nice pass by Dial.
So good patience as Nash got switched off on a big man. It took him to the hole, found Dial. Dial continues to impress with his ability to playmaking there.
I tell you, Dial's assists have been amazing. In the last 9 games, he's averaged 7 assists. And I want to tell you, this J.R. Smith is an athlete. He just stuck a 3, and it's 14-7.
We're talking about a team that only takes 11 threes a game and just makes 3 of them for 29%, which is 29 in the league, and they fit their first 2 here so far. Here goes Steve Nash penetrating in the post, finds Dial, who uses that great ball handling ability and finds a wide open Kurt Thomas.
And so they bring it in now to Nash. Nash picked up by Paul. Here is Marion. Marion shot, finds the mark. It's a 2. And the Suns have climbed within 5 with 8:13 to go here in the first quarter. John Marion, as we mentioned, has had 14 double-doubles in 19 games. Started the season with 7 straight double-doubles. He's had 20-plus points in 6 of the last 7 games as Paul misses. Rebound by Dial. Boris Dial back the other way, very smooth. Paul comes out, makes him pick up his dribble. Up it comes to Nash. Nash the foul away, and it's going to be off of the Suns. Check it. It'll be off of the Hornets. The Suns will inbound.
Steve Nash, good look, just missed it. But again, you see Kurt Thomas working those offensive boards. Got a tip, and West knocked it out of bounds. Suns retained the ball.
And it comes now to Dial. Swings it out to Steve Nash, the reigning MVP. I'm sure Paul was thinking a lot about playing him tonight. Kurt Thomas with a look that finds the mark, and it's 14-11. Kurt Thomas averaging 11 points plus in the last 6 games. He has really started to be the player, Dan, everybody thought he would be since coming over from the Knicks.
Well, just started concentrating, not worried so much about his scoring, but got back to doing what he does at best, play defense and rebound the basketball.
Here's J.R. Smith, and Smith from outside. Now, this guy can light it up. He had a 33-point game last year. He's had, this year, only 19 points, but he is capable of really striking and striking quickly. There's P.J. Brown, saves it in now to Paul. 16-11. the lead now by the Hornets. Hornets have hit 6 of 8 shots in this game.
Yeah, it's not a good sign for the Suns if Mason and Smith start hitting outside jumpers, because they're such athletic freaks that they know you can get to the basket with their athletic ability. If they start hitting jumpers, you're in trouble.
And there's a nice-looking player, David West, who was hurt so much last year. In his 3rd year out of Xavier, Paul comes up with a steal. Chris Paul back the other way, and Nash tries to draw the foul, cannot. Paul came in here 6th in the league in steals.
Well, just one of those guys that mature upon his years, and that time Diop tried to put the ball down, he just took it from him.
Roger Bell can't get it to go, and it's a 20-11 count now, and here come the Hornets with the ball again. Paul distributes to Smith. Look out if this goes. He is on fire. Smith hits the 3, and Mike D'Antoni's called timeout. All of a sudden, his team down is 23-11.
Well, you wanted to make this team shoot from the outside, but that doesn't mean let them get wide open threes, and that's what these guys are getting. Transition just slows it down. Nobody comes out. J.R. Smith hit the 3. Hornets are on fire.
Mike D'Antoni barking at his troops after they fall behind 23-11. It's time for a Geico quote of the game. Geico Auto Insurance. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. The quote is from Byron Scott talking about the Hornets' defensive intensity from the Times-Picayune. He says, I don't question our defense. I question the commitment to defense. That's totally different. We've got a few guys who are committed, but it can't be 2 or 3 if you want to win on a consistent basis. You have to have everybody on the floor committed to defending their guys and committed to helping when other guys get broken down. Suns right now in this early going have been blitzed in the early shooting. Look at this, 9 of 11 for the Hornets and 3 of 3 behind the line. There's another turnover. Boy, the Suns look flat tonight, don't they?
Well, they do look flat, but it doesn't help the Hornets come out and shoot 3 for 3 from the line, or from the 3-point line. They've only missed 2 shots, but the Suns can't turn it over. It just comes down to making shots for the Suns, but they got to play some defense.
That's right. In the game right now is Butler, who's checked in, and there's a shot missing from outside. They haven't missed very many. 9 of 12 now for the night. Rasul Butler, number 45, jumps out now on Nash. These last 3 years with the Miami Heat. Here's Diop floating beautifully to the hole, and the lead has been cut to 10. Chris Paul, the guy who left after his sophomore year. A lot of people thought he was the best player in the draft. And right now, the leading candidate for Rookie of the Year. Desmond Mason was 7 on the shot clock. And Mason has really started this team out. He's in double figures now with 10.
Well, just show how athletic he was. Put it once on the floor and spun around and shot it over a taller deal.
Suns are off to a slow start. This is reminiscent of Friday when they really got off the mark slowly against the Knicks. And there is Mason fouling Diaz. He drives inside.
Yeah, we're talking about a team that only scores about 91 points a game. They already have 25 here with over 4 minutes to go in the quarter. So Suns are going to have to slow these guys down. And here's what I'm talking about, his athletic ability once and then just spins and elevates way over Diaz with a pretty shot.
Change now. Speedy Claxton comes in, and he'll replace J.R. Smith. And I'll tell you what, Paul and Claxton in the backcourt, you've got a couple of lightning quick guys.
Well, we're talking about Claxton. We're talking about maybe a 6th man of the year here coming off and playing extremely well for the Hornets.
Eddie House comes in for the Suns, and House is going to have to be one of those guys, Dan, to close the ranks without James Jones tonight.
Well, he's been great here at home. You know, different question on the road, but he's been a spark plug here. He's gotten the crowd into it, and even better yet, he's gotten his teammates into maybe picking up a little bit of the intensity, and hopefully he can do that here tonight.
Averaging 15 points a game the last 7 games at home. A different story, as you mentioned, on the road. 7 on the shot clock. Paul is going to take the shot himself. Got the bounce. And they are now shooting for the game over 70%. 27-15 the count. Nash brings it out the house. A 3 by Eddie. You hear the crowd buzzing as that ball was airborne. Picked off now by Mason. Desmond Mason, who was a former first-round pick of Seattle. And the pass into the west, stolen by Nash. Nash trying to generate some offense. Feeds Marion, that ball almost went in. And we're going to have offensive interference. And Nash couldn't believe it. He put his hands above his head. That ball almost went on the fly into the basket.
He usually completes his pass, and that's why he's put his hands up. He knew he could have threw up to Sean just a little bit too much, and Sean goes up and gets the offensive goaltending.
And so The Hornets have it back. Here's Speedy Claxton, who entered the league with Philadelphia, got a championship ring with San Antonio. Paul from outside. Rebound is cleared by Marion. Ball went for the steal. Nash avoided that. Nash continues in. Out to Diaz. 3:36 to go in this first quarter. Marion from outside. And Marion, even though he's heated up a little bit, from outside the line, shooting only 30% at the start of the night.
I'd like to see Sean continue to be aggressive and put it on the floor, get to the basket. This Hornets team doesn't block a whole lot of shots. I mean, they're 27th in the league, only averaging about 3 blocks a game, so take it to the rim.
Roger Bell, the defensive standout for the Suns with the ball. Bell will try the three. Got it. And Bell is proud to own the three-point zone, and Fulton Holmes donates another $150 to Suns Charities.
Or just step behind the line and make a three.
That's
whatever you want to do. I don't care.
That worked for you, didn't it?
Huh.
Suns 2 of 4 now. You can see the Hornets 3 of 4. But as Dan mentioned, the Hornets are 29th in shooting three-point shots. So it's very uncharacteristic for them to be shooting this well behind the stripe. Claxton brings it out. David West will pump and miss. All of a sudden now, Hornets starting to fall back a little bit.
Well, you know they're not going to continue to be hot, but the Suns have to get their offense down and not allow Hornets wide open jump shots.
Nash backing out. Now we have a switch with West on him. Diaz got a mismatch inside on Paul. Off it comes down to Roger Bell and stolen. And that's Paul again. Boy, he really gets around, doesn't he?
Well, Diaz got to be more aggressive down there. He really wasn't double teamed. He'll let a phantom double team make him give up the ball. He's got to attack Paul if he gets him down there in the low post.
And Butler on a nice feed from Paul scores it. There's a blocked shot. West back it comes. Boy, this Hornets team looks like a lot better team that lost 5 in a row. That's going to be an offensive foul though on the rookie as he goes wheeling inside. And one of the few mistakes he's made in this ball game. 2:04 to go. Chris Paul is really fun to watch.
Yeah, there to Butler. Butler had a strong game in Sacramento, so you know he comes in with a lot of confidence tonight.
Hornets continue to shoot well, 71%, and have the lead 29-18. This date in the NBA sponsored by Paddock Pools, Patios, and Spas. Experience the magic of Christmas now at all Paddock stores where all your holiday needs. December 12, 1932, Bob Pettit is born in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Pettit went on after coming out of LSU to be the Rookie of the Year, All NBA First Team 10 times, top 50 player all time, and his St. Louis Hawks won the NBA title in 1958. I mean, he was 6'9" and something special.
Second best player to wear number 9.
Never thought of it that way.
Ted Williams was the first.
Oh, okay. 29-18. Second best in basketball. Here comes Marion inside. Nice call by Mike D'Antoni after the timeout. They get Marion started. Marion able to hit his second field goal of the night. Check that, second out of 5 attempts. Here's Claxton outside, dumps it into West. West, who last year had a knee problem that kept him out at 51 games, but he's come back this year. Off it comes to Jimmy Jackson, who's checked into the game. Out, long three. And Mason, who has been very good here in the early going, with 10 points, gets it off to Speedy Claxton. Claxton inside, and you can see his namesake certainly is appropriate as he ducks inside, and Diaz has picked up his second foul.
Well, that's just a tough cover for Diaz. Speedy Claxton is just going to use his quickness to get to the basket. And Diaz uses his hands and too much hand contact and picks up his fouls. Claxton just attacks the big fella. Nice crossover. Diaz reaches out and gets the foul.
So Diaz comes out, and coming in is going to be Pat Burke. And so getting some beef inside as Burke will check into the ball game, replacing Diaz. Pat's done a nice job. This guy has contributed. He's had a couple of 12-point games, and he's having some problems with his shoulder, though, a spasmed shoulder, but able to go, and West makes that look easy, and it's 31-20 and a foul on Claxton trying to go for the steal in the backcourt.
Well, right now the Suns just mentally aren't into it as they took the ball out there. Nobody really came back for the pass. Sean had to come back, and lucky he got a foul instead of a steal as he just throws it in. But the Suns have to get into this thing mentally.
Yeah, it's no question they're a little bit flat. They look a little tired. You know, they've really been struggling in the fourth quarter of the last 2 games. And now in the last 2 home games, they've started slowly. Against the Knicks the other night, this was characteristic of their play. Ball deflected inside, and we're going to have a foul. It's going to be on West. West can't believe it. Stops the clock with 53 seconds to go in this first quarter. The Suns come in here 9-4 at home. They've won 8 straight after a 1-4 start. And that is the 15th foul against the Hornets, and Burke to the line. Yeah, this Burke is a rugged-looking guy. The more you're around him, you appreciate how physical he can be. Anheuser-Busch salutes America's designated drivers. Responsibility matters. Burke with his second free throw. And not able to get it. Mason comes down with it. The Suns at the start of the night were third in free throw percentage at 79%. 10-point lead now for the guys who are kind of, I guess, transient this year, playing in 3 different locations, 35 games in Oklahoma City. Here is West, not able to get it. Rebound is cleared by Marion. 30 seconds left in the quarter. House feeds Burke. Burke with a nice look. Got it. Pat Burke. He'll get some plays out if he starts to hit that shot.
And he can hit that shot, and I really like what Eddie House does here at home. Not only does he shoot the ball well, but he does a good job off the dribble, and there, a nice feed to Pat Burke.
Yeah, he's a different player at home. It's really interesting. 31-23. Not a big scoring quarter for the Suns, who are trying to regather themselves after that disappointment Saturday night against the Clippers. Claxton double teamed, that ball rejected. They have 3 on the shot clock. Burke was there.
Well, Burke knew he couldn't stop him, so he kind of just backed up and kept his feet moving and got there and denied him at the rim.
So Pat Burke has come in and had some very productive minutes. Here's West from outside, and that will end the quarter. And the Suns stand are in a catch-up posture after the first 12 minutes.
Well, just got to stay the course. The Hornets won't continue to shoot the ball this well, but they got to wake up and play some emotion and enthusiasm.
So they're down 31-23 as we'll be back for quarter number 2. Well, the Christmas spirit is here. The Budweiser Clydesdales outside the Purple Palace, and that reminds us to tell you that Tim Mitchell's Christmas trees have 5 retail locations throughout the valley to serve you. Select from several types of fresh-cut trees, as well as wreaths, swags, and a variety of house decor. All locations are open daily from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. And, you know, this first quarter is so reminiscent of Friday night. The Suns in that ball game, they were able to score only 22 points, and here tonight, 23.
Hey, do you think those horses make house calls?
They might. They might do it. Off it comes now to Burke. Burke getting some minutes with Diao in foul trouble, but Boris is now back in the game. Boris not able to get the shot to go, and rebound is cleared by J.R. Smith. J.R. Smith out of St. Benedict's Prep in New Jersey, a McDonald's All-American. You can see the shooting. Hornets have been red hot.
The Suns have to figure out a way to get some fast break points and easy baskets. Had 0 there in the first quarter, and their game is to get out and run, and the Hornets have done a good job of not allowing that so far.
Boy, Claxton really got inside quickly, couldn't finish. Here's Jackson with a 3. That kind of had a corkscrew effect on it. Out it comes now to J.R. Smith. Smith was the 18th pick in the draft last year. He was 3rd in the slam dunk competition. He's really a remarkable athlete. Youngest player ever to play for the Hornets in all those years in Charlotte, now in New Orleans. House coming back the other way. Suns trying to make some inroads on this lead. They've trailed by as many as 12 in this game. Here is Burke going against Brown. Lost the handle. Off it comes to Claxton. Claxton ahead to J.R. Smith. And the foul, if that's on Diao, it's his 3rd, is it? Is it Diao or Roger Brown? It's Diao, and that's his 3rd. Boy, he has not gotten any breaks, has he, in the last few games of the foul department?
No, and the Hornets have taken the Suns' turnovers and running with it as Diao reaches in and gets a cheap foul for his 3rd. So Hornets doing a good job of causing some turnovers and get it out and running and pushing the tempo on their offensive end.
Suns have turned it over 6 times. Mike D'Antoni now is standing down here, probably trying to make a decision whether to leave Boris in there, and he's going to take him out, getting Kurt Thomas back into the ball game. Smith with both free throws, and it's a 33-23 lead. And so Thomas will come in as Diao will have to sit down.
Well, you know, the last couple of home games, the Suns have played flat, and if it hadn't been for Eddie House, you know, getting hot and getting this crowd into it, we could have had a couple losses. So the Suns can't keep relying on somebody to pick up their pace of play.
I tell you what's picked it up, though, is a guy by the name of Pat Burke. He has 5 points in 3 minutes, and sorely needed by the Suns. A depleted team without James Jones, and Leandro Barbosa and Brian Grant and Amari Stoudemire. It just goes on and on. Out it comes to Claxton. Claxton clears and hits. 35-25. They continue to shoot well. 58%. That ball off the hands of Roger Bell. It'll be Hornets ball. Here comes Thomas in. Diao will check out. Diao the other night only played 31 minutes because he was so much foul trouble. And here tonight he's going to have to leave after playing thus far 12. You can see 7 turnovers now by the Suns. P.J. Brown off to Desmond Mason, who got this thing started. 10 points early in the ball game, and that's going to be another foul. As going to call that. Roger Bell with his first. Steve Nash is going to check in for the Suns.
Well, we've seen this trend the last 3 games of teams just going right at the Suns in the post. And that time, Raja Bell gets posted up by Mason. Mason just backs him down, and Bell gets the foul.
You know, more importantly to me, Dan, though, it's just the tempo. When they start doing it, changes the tempo, and the Suns cannot get out and run the way they want.
They realize you don't want to run with the Suns. The best way to do that is just bang it inside, take some shot clock off, and keep the Suns from running, and also gets everybody into foul trouble.
And Mason will have a chance at a 3-point play, as that foul will go against Jackson. And Mason, 12 points in the game. His high this year is 26, and he's well on the way to having a season high, the 6th-year man.
And it puts a lot of pressure on your defense. The Suns, here recently have been double teamed. They said, we're going to own up to playing a good defensive team. We're going to leave you alone on the block. And, some nights that's hard to do to stop players down there in that low block.
Boy, Desmond Mason has a funny-looking motion on that shot. He misses the free throw. Nash now will bring it in. Well, teams adjust, don't they, Dan? As the season wears on, they all watch the same tapes. They start to see what other teams have been successful doing. It's a copycat thing. And there's a 3 by Roger Bell. And he's proud on the 3-point zone. And Fulton Homes donates another $150 to Suns charities. Suns now 3 of 7.
And when it comes down to the Suns, it comes down to making jump shots, usually from the outside. When they shoot well, they play well. When they don't, they have some problems.
37-28. Smith outside, 6 on the shot clock. He weaves in off to Butler from the corner. And Butler, you mentioned he had a good game last night with 15 points. He sticks that one. 39-28. Bell comes back, and he hits a 2. It's a 9-point game. 39-30. Claxton off to Smith. They've had Chris Paul out of there for quite a while, letting Claxton run this team. As you mentioned, one of the leading candidates for the 6th Man of the Year award, a very solid backup point guard. 7 seconds now. Mason taking Jackson in. He just threw that one away. Smith will have to get back, and the Suns are going to get the ball.
A good timely double team by Steve Nash. Wait for Mason to put the ball on the floor. He turned around to go middle. Found a Steve Nash right there and ended up throwing the ball away.
7 turnovers now against the Hornets. And Butler able to stick one from the corner. The Hornets trying to break a 5-game losing streak, and they've come out of the chute effectively. Let's take a look at who's getting the job done. Brought to you by Jobbing.com. Local jobs, fresh jobs, real jobs. Find them on Jobbing.com. And Desmond Mason's getting the job done.
He sure is. And he's doing it from all over, too. First play of the game, just put his head down, took it all the way to the basket. Nobody from the weak side's there. And then he's going to step back off the give and go and nail a jump shot. When he starts hitting that outside jumper, this makes it a lot easier getting to the basket. So Desmond Mason has really done a good job here for the Hornets early.
12 points in 16 minutes. We come back in now. The Suns have cut it to 9. Nash trying to make it a 7-point game. Back tap out by Jackson to Roger Bell. Suns get a second opportunity. Nash with a 3. Top break on the shot. And coming down to the rebound is J.R. Smith. Chris Paul getting ready to come back into the lineup. You can see thus far, Suns 3 of 7, Hornets 3 of 5. Hornets for the game shooting 61.5%. Rasul Butler trying one from outside. Rebound by Kurt Thomas. Nash trying to create now as they have a switch. P.J. Brown at 6'11", comes out to pick him up. Nash into the corner to Burke, and Burke has really stepped up big time tonight. Burke now with 7 points. He's hit all 3 of his field goal attempts.
Good job by Burke coming off that bench. The bench is depleted. Needed to come in and hit some of those shots. Picked up where Eddie House usually comes in and provides a spark. This time it's Burke.
Well, you wonder who's going to close the ranks with the injuries. Right now it's Burke. Claxton misses. Jackson with a rebound. Steve Nash and Claxton tried to poke the ball away. They'll bring it out. 7:14 to go here in the first half. Nash tried to feed it. Claxton got a hand on it. Here comes Speedy the other way. Off it comes to J.R. Smith. Smith into the corner to Butler. Butler 3 years with the Miami Heat and did a very good job. Drafted in the second round back in 2002. And of course, the Miami Heat now have their old coach back at the helm, Pat Riley, as Mason ducks inside.
Yeah, just addressed Burke there with a nice hesitation move, went all the way to the basket. And this Hornets team, got to give it credit. They're taking their time. They're taking good shots and controlling the tempo.
They are really playing well. It's hard to believe they're only 8 and 12. Out it comes now to Jackson. Jackson, tough break. The Suns have had 2 threes go clear in and come back out. J.R. Smith back the other way. Smith, only 20 years old. So when he and Paul are in the backcourt together, you have 2 20-year-old guys playing the guard position. Here is Claxton now getting a screen from P.J. Brown. 6 on the shot clock. Smith, long 3. And if there's anything that Smith doesn't do well to shoot from outside, but he's doing it tonight. He now has 13 points.
Well, you know, Smith's not a bad three-point shooter at all, 37%, but he's getting wide open looks, and he's starting to feel it, so the Suns can't lose him.
Shooting only 38%. You see Burke hurt his shoulder again. Burke's right shoulder spasms on him again. He's in some pain playing right now after that rebound. 13 on the shot clock. Jackson. Boy, the Suns not getting a break on the shots at all. Hornets have hit 4 of 5 three-point shots. Suns at 43% shooting. The Hornets still above 60% until that shot as Claxton misses there.
You know, a weird status. Smith shoots 37% from the field, but shoots 37% from the three-point line. You talk about an athletic guy who's a great dunker and finisher on the basket. You think his two-point shots would be a lot easier.
Was that pretty or what? Nash suspended himself in the air and got the ball to Kurt Thomas. I never cease to be amazed by him. He has 8 assists.
Suspended himself?
Yeah. Floating through the air with the greatest of ease, right? I mean, Nash comes up with a new look every game, and he's going to get a charging foul on Claxton. And we're going to have a timeout. 5:02 to go in this first half of play. 44-34. Take us to the suspension.
Here's the cut, and he just, oh, look, he's just floating. Floating. He must have wings.
Downtown Phoenix, the Christmas trees are ablaze, and right now, so is this New Orleans, Oklahoma City Hornets team. Coming up tonight, right after the game on your Arizona Sports Report, the Diamondbacks were doing their part to spread some holiday cheer today, hosting 350 underprivileged kids. Find out how they helped out. Plus, PGA golfers teeing it up for a good cause at the annual Christmas Classic. We'll swing the sticks with the pros. Plus, we're on the court and inside the Suns locker room of all of the reaction following the game against the Hornets. That's all next on your Arizona Sports Report with Terry Chick. Heading your way right after our game, you could see Pat Burke coming out. He was having some problems with that shoulder. Nash outside, 12 on the shot clock. They scramble for it. Claxton comes up with it. And ahead comes Paul, who gets back into the ball game to P.J. Brown, and that's an offensive foul. And, the Hornets don't like that call, and they're letting Mike Callahan know about it.
Well, the Suns turned over for the 9th time in this game early, but Kurt Thomas gets back, gets his body in front of P.J. Brown, and takes the charge. Good job by Thomas.
P.J. Brown is quite a player, 26th player to post 8,000 points, 7,000 rebounds, and it goes on and on, 1,000 assists and 1,000 blocks in his 13th year. Nash now is 1 of 7 shooting the ball, Dan.
Yeah, very uncharacteristic. Had some good looks, just hasn't been able to knock him down, but you know that's going to change.
So Paul and Claxton, 2 speedy guys in the backcourt right now. Off it comes now to J.R. Smith. Jackson measures him. P.J. Brown dumps it inside now to West. 2 on the shot clock. And that ball partially deflected. Shot clock expires. Good defense that time by Phoenix. Suns get a stop. And Eddie House smiling from ear to ear. Like to see him get started. He's missed his first 2 shots tonight. Nash outside. And we have a switch again. And in the switch, trying to fight through it. New Orleans picks up a foul. That'll be on Claxton. And now Diaw will come into the ball game. Diaw, of course, having to leave early because of the 3 quick fouls. Side out to the Suns.
I'd like to see the Suns run a pick and roll without P.J. Brown being involved because he's so good with his length. He can move his feet. One of the better defenders in the league. He's going to cause problems for Steve Nash if they switch. That time they did switch, and Claxton had to grab Thomas to keep him from rolling to the basket.
See Mason coming in. Claxton checks out. That was a first-team foul against the Hornets. 10-point game. Biggest lead has been 12. Marion across the middle. And it's batted out. The Suns get a break as two Hornets fighting over the rebound. Nash now inside, creating as only he can. The D out from the corner. Morris didn't look like he wanted to take that shot. West ahead now to Mason. Mason, a big finisher, and stripped on the way out. You can see him loading up, and Eddie House stripped him on the way out.
Very good hustle by Eddie. He got back on this long rebound. Good outlet. Looked like Mason was going to go up and finish it. Eddie got back, got a hand on the ball, and knocked it out.
That's what Mason does best, is really become a high-wire act. He can explode with anybody. Out it comes to Desmond Mason. Dumps it off to Paul. Paul in a lot of traffic, and he creates and hits the deck. Well, you can see how good this guy's going to be. He does some things very special.
Well, for his size, he's very tough. He's not afraid to take it into the paint. Like I said, much like Isaiah Thomas when he came in this league. Short in stature, but really takes the ball to the basket, takes the physical abuse. Very good rebounder, does everything well.
Marion picked up the foul. This guy's shooting 81% from the free throw line. He basically replacing Baron Davis, who they traded over to Golden State last year and waited to draft Paul this year, and they're going to hitch their star to this guy, number 3. 46-34, back up to matching the biggest lead of the game. Nash baseline. Thomas open. The Suns, a couple of times, Dan, almost taking shots as though they're afterthoughts.
Well, I totally agree there. Kurt should have shot that one right away and hesitated a second, allowed P.J. Brown to get out there and put a hand up.
Here's Paul now, floating block by Thomas. Off it comes now to Nash. Nash looking at Thomas, goes behind him, leaves it for Marion. Beautifully done. Great patience by Steve Nash.
Oh, you're right. Patience was the key there as he delivered the ball. Right, the perfect timing for Sean Marion just to catch it and take it to the basket.
Nash already with 9 assists. They've cut it back to 10. 2:41 to go here in this first half. J.R. Smith and Nash fighting through the pick. Now Smith clears and hits. And J.R. Smith has had a big first half. He has 15 points. He's hit 5 of 6.
Well, just way too comfortable, able to get a dribble, compose himself, and just let it go. Steve Nash, who has been very cold here tonight, finds his jump shot.
Yep, you're right. He was 1 of 7 previous to that. Back to a 10-point game with 2:13 left to go here in this first half of play. Paul brings it off now to Mason. Back to Chris Paul. Paul weaving around. You can see he's got such confidence for a guy that's 20 years old. J.R. Smith clears for a 2, and he'll be fouled. Sean Marion jumping out and committing the foul. And we'll have a break in the action. 1:59 left to go in what has been an uphill struggle. Suns with their 15th foul when we come back. Suns regrouping down 48-38. Just inside 2 minutes left in the first half. Now you have 112 million reasons to play Powerball. Wednesday's Powerball jackpot, an estimated $112 million. Check for the winning numbers at ArizonaLottery.com. It's time now for the Powerball power play, and a block by Kurt Thomas.
Bringing the Kool-Aid to a cake party. Kurt Thomas says, no, young fella. Gets it out. Steve Nash is going to pick it up. He's going to lead the break, and he's going to find his favorite target, Sean Marion, who suspends himself in the middle of the air, much like Steve Nash did a few plays ago. And that's only the 4th fast break point for the Suns, and they're going to need more easy baskets to get by these pesky
You got to
Hornets.
suspend yourself tonight as the Suns in a catch-up posture this entire game. They led early by 1. They trailed by as many as 12 and could drop behind at 12 again as Smith at the line gets the first free throw. He's an 83% free throw shooter. J.R. Smith was a guy who last year was a Western Conference Rookie of the Month for January, February, and March. In the last 38 games, Dan, he averaged almost 15 points a game.
got a load of talent. We talked to D'Antoni about him. Said he really liked him, but hasn't seen much improvement from that first year. So he must not be working as hard as he has to get his game. But he's one of those guys who's got all the talent in the world.
Yep. Back to a 12-point lead now. House not able to get it. Eddie has not been able to have that run that he's so famous for. He's 0 for 3 thus far shooting the ball.
Not his time yet. Fourth quarter.
The house will be on fire, we hope, in the second half. All outside now. Minute 35 left in the first half. Desmond Mason looking inside. He's trying to feed West. Couldn't get him clear. Now he gets it to David West. 4 on the shot clock. West not able to get it. Kurt Thomas with a tough rebound inside.
Very tough. You're right. He had to block off P.J. Brown. Did a good job.
He has 5 rebounds. Roger Bell now floating to the hole. Nicely done. And Bell now has double figures with 10 points.
Raja, one of the few Suns who's shooting the ball well, both from the outside. That time, put it on the floor. Nice running jump shot.
You know, Roger Bell is one of those guys, Dan, the more you watch him play, the more you appreciate him. You got to see him every night to see how he contributes.
Oh, I love what he does. Obviously, a very good defensive player, tough-nosed guy, but he's really shot the ball well. He does a lot with the ball. He's just a good team.
Here's Paul dumping it off to West. West will flash inside and put it off the window. And it's a 12-point game again. The Suns haven't been able to get inside that double-digit deficit. As now Nash goes inside. A switch. P.J. Brown on him. And this is a 3. And Roger Brown able to hit it. That's 10 assists for Nash. Bell proud on the three-point zone. And Fulton Holmes donates another $150 to Suns Charities. Bell is 3 of 3 behind the line now. J.R. Smith a little bit of trouble, gets it out now to Paul. 16 on the shot clock. A 10 seconds difference between the game and the shot clock. Paul very poised, looks over to Byron Scott. Played on that Showtime team, and a beautiful feed to Desmond Mason. That looked like a Nash to Marion feed.
Well, just a beautiful play. He did back it up and looked at the head coach, and Byron Scott set a play, and Raja Bell got caught napping as Desmond made a back cut and they threw it up and slammed it down. 54-43. The Hornets, the team, are not scoring that many points this year, averaging 91. But here in the first half, they've had it, and Raja Bell's had it. He hits a 3, and Fulton Holmes donates another $150 to Suns Charity. Bell 4 of 4 behind the line as it's an even Stevens second quarter, 23 all. Well, and thank goodness for Raja Bell. These Suns would be in a world of hurt there. Down here 8 at the end of the first half, but Bell's done a great job of shooting that ball, and got to give it to the Hornets. They've done a fantastic job of being patient here. Run the shot clock down, give it to Leaping Mason. Slams it down.
At the break, the Suns trail 54-46 with Thunder Dan Marley. I'm Gary Bender, and the Suns really don't have the tempo going the way they want to. They have only 4 fast break points, and they've turned the ball over 9 times.
Yeah, and 2 guys for the Hornets have really been the downfall for the Suns. Desmond Mason 7 for 9 for 16 points, and J.R. Smith 5 for 6 for 17 points. The only guy really hot for the Suns, Raja Bell, who has 16 points on 6 for 8 shooting. Steve Nash 11 assists, but hasn't found the stroke from the outside yet.
Thank heavens for Raja Bell. It's time to check now the Jack in the Box inside the box score. We don't make it till you order it. You can see the shooting. I tell you this. New Orleans, Oklahoma City Hornets team, and they just never stopped shooting well that entire first half.
No, you know, they're not a very good three-point shooting team. You see they're 4 for 5, points in the paint, 20. They continue to take the Suns in the paint there on the post and driving the ball, free throws, shooting pretty well. So hopefully they won't continue to shoot as well, and the Suns just have to pick it up defensively, force some turnovers, get out and run, and get some fast break points. They only have 4 there in the first half, and the Suns need to get out and run.
What has happened, too, is you've given the Hornets a thought that, hey, we can win this ball game. Here's a team that's lost 5 in a row. They've really struggled on the road, lost 4 in a row on the road, and a team that really doesn't have a home this year. So they come out here, and tonight would be a big boost to their situation if they could find a way to win it. J.R. Smith had a very good first half. He had 17 points. Mason had 16. Raja Bell, the only Sun in double figures with 16 points, and he hit 4 of 4 behind the line.
Hey, before we go any further, let's give a big shout out to Brian Grant. I know he's sitting at home watching us on TV, and we'd love to have him in the lineup. Hopefully his knee's feeling better and he gets healthy. He's one of those guys that we'd love to have on the floor. A very physical, tough-minded guy who is a lot of fun to play with and to watch play. So I hope Brian's doing okay. We hope he gets back soon.
A consummate pro. guy who has really, through the years, done an outstanding job. I wonder what he thinks now about the Miami Heat with Pat Riley becoming the head coach. As it comes outside now to Roger Bell, 8 on the shot clock. Just underway, second half. And there's a first miss from three-point land by Bell. And here comes Chris Paul. Paul in the first half had 5 assists and 9 points. Very impressive rookie. Desmond Mason, who got all this started, he was the guy that erupted for 10 quick points in the game. J.R. Smith, Bell comes out on him. Suns trying to pick up their defensive intensity, which was lacking from time to time in the first half. Paul with 2 seconds, and they get a second crack at it. P.J. Brown can't get it, and yet another offensive rebound, this time by West.
And that's what kills you. The Hornets being very methodical, taking their time. Did take their first shot till 2 on the shot clock and end up getting the ball back twice.
Here's Paul now resetting their offense. Dumps it off to Brown. Brown brings it out to Smith. Smith dumps it off to Paul. Paul quickly to the basket, and he's going to be fouled by Kurt Thomas. Thomas coming over and made contact, and so Thomas now has picked up his second foul.
Just the patience of the Hornets, wearing the Suns down defensively. Turned down a couple of jumpers. Paul that time catches on the wing, gets to the basket. Just a little late on the weak side. It's going to go to the free throw line.
Dan, to back up to what you were talking about earlier, you're seeing teams now really slow the Suns down, tempo-wise, backing it inside, getting physical with them. The Clippers made that work Saturday night. Here is the Hornets doing the same thing. So as they get ready to go on the road, you know some teams are watching this game tonight. You can expect more of the same.
Well, the Suns' strength is get out and run, use their quickness. They're not very big on the inside. Their teams would be dumb not to force it into the post and run the clock down.
Suns with only 4 fast break points. Nash with a 3. And Steve Nash proud to own the three-point zone. And Fulton Holmes with another $150 to Suns charities. 56-49. Maybe that's the beginning.
Well, that's how you negate all that stuff, is to make some open jump shots.
They're 6 of 11 behind the line. Here's Paul now. They don't have anything going offensively. 8 on the shot clock. Doubled off to Mason. Marion respects his ability to drive. 3 on the shot clock. Smith, long 3. And here comes Marion to the rebound. The Suns now with a chance to start to pull closer in this game, to make a move. Off it comes to Thomas. They switch now with P.J. Brown on Nash into Thomas. Nash recognized it all, and he now has 12 assists.
Just a great pass as they switched off again. P.J. Brown on Nash, and he just waited for Kurt Thomas to cut. Beautiful bounce pass.
All of a sudden, the Suns have now cut it to 5. 56-51. Up it comes now to Mason. Mason's fouled away, and he hit it. This is a guy that has played very well tonight. He has 18 points in the ball game. Roger Bell to Nash. Nash trying to keep the tempo up. Boris Diaw, who had a lot of foul trouble in the first half, gets that one to drop. It's 58-53. Diaw now with 8 points.
And I love that by Steve Nash. You said it, keep the tempo up. Pushed it, drove to the basket right away, found a wide open Diaw, knocked down the jump shot.
So they're very aware of the slowdown tactics. The half-court game that New Orleans, Oklahoma City is throwing at them. Here is Smith now. That's a desperation shot. He thought he was fouled. The ball will be rebounded by Thomas. Off to Nash with 13 assists. Make it 14. No! And then the follow by Marion. Diaw couldn't get it to go, but Marion alertly followed tips. Timeout by the Hornets.
Well, you got to like that. The Suns are making the Hornets take tough jump shots, and when they're getting the rebound, they're getting out and run. This time, Nash with the bounce pass between P.J. Brown's legs. Kurt Thomas lays it in. Suns got some excitement. This crowd's up.
Is that an amazing pass or what? Suns are on a roll. They've hit 4 of their first 6 shots. They've cut it to 58-55. Here's what's on tap for the Phoenix Suns. Brought to you by Bud Light. Refreshingly smooth. Bud Light, always worth it. The sound effects provided by Thunder Dan. The next Suns home game is Tuesday night, December 20th, as the Suns will host Ray Allen and the Seattle Sonics at 7 p.m. For tickets, call 1-800-4NBA-TICKS or log on to Suns.com. Ray Allen playing very well again. You can see what he's averaging. And a guy who led them to that division title last year, but they have changed coaches. Bob Weiss now taking over for Nate McMillan. In the quarter, you can see the Suns getting much the better of it, starting to fire up. Here is Smith now. That's steal by Marion. Marion has it stolen then by Mason, who came back. Marion's the start of the night. Came in 8th in the league in steals, but that one turned back over. And for the Suns, their 10th turnover tonight. Dumped in now to West. David West goes into the left hand. This guy is very smooth. A guy who's been very effective as a post-up player.
Well, you got to like the energy of the Suns here in the third quarter. Their defense, you can see guys getting up in the passing lanes, being a little bit more aggressive, and that allowed them to get some easier shots on the offensive end.
And Nash is really pushing the envelope right now. Thomas misses, Smith with a rebound. Nash, you can just see his energy level. He has more assists now than the entire Hornets team, as he has 13 for the game. Suns, of course, lead the NBA in assists per game, almost 27 a game. In goes Smith, tough shot. Roger Bell commits a foul. Smith has impressed me tonight, Dan. He has 17 points. He's done a lot of things very well.
Well, we talked about his shooting. If he starts hitting some jump shots, and this makes this much easier because he's such an athlete, putting on the ball on the floor and just gets to the basket, causes the contact by Bell, and is going to go to the free throw line. This is a good young player.
Yes, he is, and they think that he could be a star in the league. Smith with the first free throw. Hey, come explore the new Verizon wireless jungle on level 4 of the America Western Arena for all Suns home games. Tons of fun for the kids and adults alike. Dan Marley's like a kid up there. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you. As Smith bumps it up to a 62-55 lead.
That one slide they got, the one, the curly, if you're over 6'6", don't go on it. I got caught right in the middle of it, yeah.
You mean you had to get taken out
of it? My kids grabbed me and pulled me through it. But
okay.
It was touch and go there for a second.
But the kids now feel like they're heroes, able to help you through that situation. 62-55. That ball was kicked a moment ago as Marion is able to penetrate inside. And Sean Marion now in double figures with 10 points.
And a beautiful wraparound pass by Diaw from the high post.
Suns look a lot better, don't they, right now? It's in the same team we saw in the first half. And it comes down to West. David West with a big spin move, reverses it. This guy is really coming on. I mean, he's averaging 16 points a game after averaging only 6 a year ago. He's one of the most improved players in the early going, and he's very smooth. Here's Diaw now backing in against Mason. Diaw, that'll be his 4th foul. So Diaw, you could see that one coming, couldn't you?
Well, he's going to really have to start to work on that left hand as players get to know him a little bit better. He really wants to go that right hand. Went to it one time, got cut off, and then tried to go back again, and Mason steps his way and takes the charge. So Diaw's really going to have to work on going to his left a little bit.
They really, you could see Mason was setting him up for that one. 4 fouls on Boris Diaw. Off it comes down to West. Thomas now switches out on him. They're trying to slow him down a little bit. 9 on the shot clock. Paul goes around West, floats, and hits it. And so it's a 66-57 lead and a steal. They come up with a steal. Paul, who doesn't play like a rookie, picked their pocket there.
Well, it was a killer as Thomas didn't step out hard enough on the screen. Paul hit the jumper and just ran right in front of Nash and stole the inbounds pass.
And now the shot missing by West, and we have a loose ball foul. And it's going to go on the Suns.
Well, West is going to find it a little hard going if Kurt Thomas is going to guard him in the block. You can see Paul just shoot that little floater, nothing but net, and it comes back and steps in front of Nash. Lackadaisical pass by Marion, steals it.
And so, all of a sudden, after the Suns had whittled it down to 58-53, it's now back up 66-57. Look at the steals, Dan. 8 of them in this game by the Hornets.
Well, this Hornets team does a pretty good job of stealing the basketball. 10th in the league, averaging 7.5, already above that. But Suns got to do a better job of not being careless with the basketball.
Yeah, and so Diaw has to lead the game. He picked up his 5th foul. And coming into the game now is Eddie House. Out it comes to Paul. Paul, beautiful feed to P.J. Brown, and you can see why they say Chris Paul is the real deal. He does a lot of things well.
We saw it there on 2 occasions. Turned down the 3, put the ball on the floor. Could have shot the 15-footer. Instead, hit a wide open Brown underneath the basket. Did the Suns turn it over again?
Oh, I know it. That's 12 of them. 10-2 run right now by the Hornets the last 3 minutes, 50-plus seconds. Here comes Paul. Kicks it out now to Smith. Smith feeling very confident, and bodies hit the floor, and we've got a foul somewhere. And they're going to call the foul on the Hornets, and it's going to be on P.J. Brown.
Yeah, just trying to be too aggressive. Raja Bell doing a good job of blocking him out. P.J. went over the back, got the foul.
And here comes Claxton into the ball game, and Smith will check out. Boy, it's hard to believe this team has lost 5 in a row. They lost to the Kings last night. They lost to Portland. They lost to Boston. They have really struggled as of late, but they're playing well tonight, and there's a nice move by Kurt Thomas.
Well, I was talking to Kenny Gaddison, one of the assistant coaches for the Hornets before, and he said he told his team that you can't sneak up on anybody anymore. Once you when you're 8 and 7, you just can't expect to come in and people are not going to know about you. So they don't expect to come in. They know that other teams are going to have to play hard.
They won only 18 games last year. They had a new general manager, a new coach. They came to the Western Conference. Here's Paul stepping in for a shot. House back taps, but it goes to the wrong guys. 5 minutes to go here in the third. Out it comes to Claxton. Claxton, the follow-away shot, and Claxton bumps it up to an 11-point lead. Their biggest has been 12. So all of a sudden, when it looked like the Suns are going to really cut into this New Orleans, Oklahoma City team has launched ahead again. Here is House, and boy, he needs to get something going. Eddie House has struggled, 0 for 4 from the field. Here comes Claxton the other way, and that looked like a Suns break as Mason finishes and D'Antoni calls timeout, and Dan, this game's starting to get away.
Well, the Hornets have been very patient, taking the shots the Suns are allowing. That time, they get out and they run it. Speedy Claxton leading the break. It's going to take what the Suns give. Nobody gets back. Mason finishes a slam. Suns in a little bit of trouble.
Well, the Suns trying to diagram something that's going to work. Mike D'Antoni's team now has been outscored 14-4 in the last 4 minutes and 29 seconds of this quarter. It's time to Kia Watch and Win. Log on to Suns.com after the game and fill out the online entry form with tonight's leading score. And you can win a pair of Kurt Thomas game-worn shoes, a 1 of 10 Sean Marion retro bobbleheads. Plus, each of our winners this season will be entered into a drawing to win a new Kia Sportage, a versatile SUV with 6 airbags, traction control, available V6 engine. Kia, the power to surprise, and the Suns come out. And the foul is on Marion. The Suns trailing by their biggest deficit of the game, 13.
Well, that time Steve Nash tried to go on the pick and roll a little too soon. Sean Marion never set up, got an offensive foul trying to set the screen.
Marion now with 3 fouls. In it comes to Mason, and the Suns are in some trouble right now. Here's Mason going in, a little jump hook, and the rebound is cleared by Marion, who went high for that one. Marion now with 5 rebounds and 10 points. You hope that somebody like House could get the hot hand. They need somebody to jumpstart him. Up it comes now to Bell. Bell had that great first half of 16 points, has not scored here in the third. House with a 3, not there tonight. And the rebound is cleared by Butler. Suns now for the game shooting 48%. New Orleans at 53. 3.5 minutes to go in the third. You can see some confidence in the body language right now of the Hornets. I mean, they believe right now. Here's Claxton outside, left it short, back tap comes to Mason. They're getting a lot of these loose balls right now.
That's what kills you, is the Hornets continue to control the tempo going into the post, and if you play good defense, you definitely don't want to give them 2 or 3 shots at.
Paul goes in, creating, and he'll go to the line. And that foul's going to go on Eddie House. House has picked up his first foul of the night.
See where Paul just controlling the dribble, gets all the way in the basket, using that strength and getting fouled in the reach. And the Hornets, like I said, controlling the tempo, taking their time, getting the ball inside and getting some offensive rebounds and just keeping the Suns from any kind of fast break points.
D'Antoni gives Nash a break with 3 minutes left here in the quarter. Jim Jackson comes in. Hornets have 5 offensive rebounds this quarter. They're doing a lot of things well. Paul not able to hit the free throw, 72-59. Jim Jackson played 11 minutes, has not scored in this ball game from outside. Shot by Roger Bell.
Well, it's going to come down to the Suns making jump shots. I mean, the Hornets are just packing the paint, and the Suns have taken a lot of good-looking jumpers. None of them have fouled, so we either got to get House or Roger Bell back on fire. Russell Butler throws up a 3.
Butler, the long 3. I'm not sure Byron Scott wanted that shot. House comes into the offensive end now. 2.5 minutes to go in the third. Jackson out to Bell. Bell brings it back to Jackson. Jackson with the ball fake on Butler. 10 on the shot clock. Bell ducking inside, floating to the hole, left it short. Marion reloads and hits. Sean Marion Maybe it'll be the Matrix that'll get him going. He has 12 points in the game.
I like that aggressiveness by Bell, not relying on the jump shot. Took it all the way to the basket. The defense helped Marion there for the offensive rebound.
Off it comes now to Claxton. Claxton takes House to the baseline. West backing in on Thomas. Good defense by Kurt. I mean, very good defense. He got a piece of that, I think. Here comes Jackson back the other way. Inside 2 minutes to go now in this third quarter. Suns trying to close the quarter on a positive note. Out it comes to House. House to Marion. Marion to the three. No. Tough break on the shot. Suns now are 6 of 13 behind the line.
Well, credit Mason there for good defense. Didn't rotate off of Eddie House. Left Sean Marion wide open for the three.
So the Suns now fighting uphill, digging themselves out of a deficit that's been as many as 13 points as Paul goes in again. Right now, no one's guarding Paul. They cannot stop him. His quickness, he's really hurting him.
He's really good with the basketball. Gave a little head and shoulder fake there to Raja Bell. Turned the corner. Raja slaps down and stops him from getting to the basket, but Chris Paul showing why he's such a good rookie.
That's a 15 foul against the Suns, and Bell now has committed his third foul. So Paul will go to the line. Paul here tonight, 4 of 6, and now 4 of 7.
Watch Kurt Thomas here grab the shirt of West, not allowing him to get to Raja Bell, and Raja throws up the layup, and Sean Marion grabbed the rebound and put it in, but that's Kurt Thomas showing why he's a vet.
Paul got 1 of 2 free throws, 73-61. Raja Bell swings it out now to House, and away from the ball. We have a technical foul on a double technical. Raja Bell is one of them. Who's the other one?
Technicals have been assessed to Hornets assistant coach Jim Clemens and the Suns Raja Bell.
Raja Bell not only getting under the Hornets players' nerves, but he's getting on the assistant coach too.
Well, it's Jim Clemens then. That's who it is. Clemens has assessed the technical. Wow. So they take it side out. Raja Bell was the guy over there that got Clemens all upset. Jim Clemens has been around a long time in this league. The former Ohio State standout with the Lakers for so many years. Here comes Bell now going inside, and he's fouled. Bell being very aggressive, ducking inside that time, and the foul.
Well, I love his aggressiveness. He's had a great night shooting the basketball, but now being aggressive, taking the ball to the basket. Nice move, faking like he's going to go over the screen, and then goes hard to the basket. Gets the foul on West. And then he has something, a little smile to the bench. They take that, Mr. Clemens.
Well, the double technical on Bell and Clemens. You don't see that very often. An assistant coach and a player getting a double technical. It's usually 2 players on the floor.
You know better than that, coach. Shame on you.
Bell now with his second free throw got 1 of 2. 73-62. The Suns are 4 of 6. Not getting to the line again. That's been an issue. On the other hand, the Hornets are 13 of 17. Less than a minute to go here in the third. Suns are good when they lead after 3 quarters. They won't tonight. Now we have bodies on the floor. We're going to have a pushing foul on West.
No, the pushing foul is on Chris Paul, and guess why? Because Raja Bell holding him the whole way through. Chris Paul just got upset and tried to push off, and Raja flopped, and as always, you get caught the second time around. It's not always the first guy to flop.
You know what's interesting about that? That shows you the maturity of Paul. Here's a rookie trying to pull something like that. Here's House from outside. It just isn't going for him tonight, and that's saved in, and Thomas had it for a moment. Eddie House 0 for 6 shooting. One of those nights, and whoa, there's a screen and a foul on Mason. This game is really getting physical now.
Byron Scott very upset as long as Desmay thought that Raja Bell flopped, but Raja just being very active. First on the offensive rebound, tried to save it, and that time ran into the pick and hit the deck. So he's going to run and
whoa, that was
going to hit the floor hard. And he's like, where's the foul?
Raja Bell got under the skin of Clemens. Now he's under the skin of Byron Scott. Everybody's mad at Raja Bell.
I'm not.
Well, you never get mad at anybody. Off it comes to Bell. Bell has been the instigator of some motion here tonight. Here comes Jackson driving inside. Tried to no-look pass. Thomas did not connect with it. And the turnover with 12 seconds left is the 15th against the Suns.
Well, right idea by Jim Jackson. Just too hard. He was too close to Kurt Thomas. Threw that pass too high and too hard.
This Hornets team, they are not backing down, and the Suns have picked up their intensity. They're toe-to-toe with them, but still find themselves down. Here's Claxton going in, and they're fortunate that shot didn't go. And House, it'll count if it goes. Oh! And House 0 for 7, but almost with a huge shot in the third quarter. The Hornets outscore the Suns 19-16.
Yeah, the Suns are going to have to find a way to close this gap going in the fourth quarter. They need House to catch on fire as they're down by 9.
Suns down 73-62. The Hornets went to the line in the third quarter 8 times. The best damn sports show, period, is the greatest nightly sports show on television. Tonight, we take a look back at some of the best moments from the past as they'll be competing in the World 8-Ball Championship, plus a whole lot more. It's the best damn sports show, period. Tonight at 10:30, only on FSN. Mike Siegel and Lori John Jones.
Not the World 8-Ball Championship.
Yes.
Holy cow.
You're going to stay up to watch that.
Wow.
Here we go, Dan. You're going to find a way to win this for the Suns.
You usually got to pay double for that kind of action.
I understand.
Kidding me?
What a bonus. Up it comes now to Claxton. Claxton's been a thorn in the Suns' side. Baseline, it goes to Butler. Lost it. Claxton tries to come up with it. Great hustle, but it's going to be off of the Hornets. Suns ball as they try to make a move. They've trailed by as many as 13 in this game.
We talked about the Hornets' aggressiveness. I mean, they've been to the line 17 times, made 13, only to 6 for the Suns. So they've just been more aggressive, taking the ball to the basket.
As I mentioned earlier, 8 times to the free throw line in the third quarter. That has not been one of the strengths of the Suns team, getting to the free throw line. There's an offensive foul on Bell. I tell you, Bell has stirred up this team. Now they're trying to retaliate in the way they can, but I love Roger Bell's toughness. I mean, he brings it every night, and on the defensive end, he irritates people.
Yeah, I liked it too. He knew exactly there. He got the foul. He tried to get Speedy Claxton up in the air. He didn't bite on it, lowered his shoulder, got the offensive foul, but at least he's out there trying and playing hard.
Bell with his 4th foul. And it comes now to Desmond Mason. Just underway in the fourth quarter. Mason pull up against Marion. That ball not finding the mark at all. It'll go back to the Suns. Pat Burke in here now in the fourth quarter with House, Jim Jackson, Roger Bell, and Sean Marion. Suns trying to find a way to win this. They don't want to lose 2 in a row.
We'll see if House can catch on fire here. 0 for 7, but the fourth quarter is usually when he turns it on. And again, another turnover for the Suns.
They turn it over, and Mason makes it pay. That's 17 turnovers, leading to 18 points in this game. 75-62. House goes in and finally gets a shot to go. After going 0 for 7, he connects.
So we're not used to House taking it to the basket, but maybe that'll get him going here.
Steve Nash getting ready to come in at the next break. Claxton into the offensive end. Suns would like to win this getaway game before they go on the road for 3 straight. Here's Claxton going in. To the corner it goes to Butler. Butler's getting a lot of looks. Look at Mason get out. Can't control the tip. Off it comes now to Jackson. Jim Jackson off to House. Here's the 3. Oh, top break. It's not going. He has a lid on the basket tonight.
Well, that one looked awfully good. And you know he's a good shooter because even though he's only 1 for 8, you still expect every time he shoots it, it's going to go in.
That's what Mike D'Antoni said. I expect that next one always to go in. So he gets a green light. Mason brings it out to Brown. Burke on him. 5 seconds on the shot clock. 4. They're going to have to make a move for 3. Butler again. Butler not hitting anything. And House comes up with it. Butler in this game is 2 for 7. House, they're trying to get the ball out of his hands. Burke pops open, and Burke has played well tonight. Burke has scored 9 points in 10 minutes.
He's played great. He's 4 for 4, and that time just a pick and pop. Eddie House got him the ball. Pat Burke showing he's got a lot of confidence that left-handed jumper. He's
going to play more with Brian Grant, of course, recovering from the surgery. And he's been a welcome addition. He gives him some real toughness. Claxton outside at the 9:18 mark. Back to Brown. Brown, that's probably a shot the Suns would like to have him take all night long. He's 1 of 4. Not a great shooter like he was earlier in his career. Here comes Burke inside. Brings it outside the House. House again. Still not there. And Smith brings it down. Well, what is it you always say, Dan? Great shooters have no conscience.
There's no conscience whatsoever. And There's going to be a timeout here in that ball situation, but Coach D'Antoni just looked at Steve Nash and said, go get Eddie. So Eddie doesn't look like he's going to get it going here tonight.
Here comes Brown down the middle, deflected. Good defense by the Suns. Jackson back the other way. Jackson picked up by Rasul Butler. Butler out of LaSalle, and Jackson misses badly. And that's going to be off the Hornets. We have a break. 75-66. These Hornets, they just aren't going to give up the lead. Hornets only shooting 1 of 7 in this quarter, but the Suns 2 of 5 as we come back into the 8:26 mark. Suns have a fresh 24 on the shot clock. The inbound to Bell. Steve Nash is back in. Here he comes. Nash with 13 assists in the game. Well, he tried to take over now. He's taken 9 shots. The shot on the way. Rebound is cleared effectively by J.R. Smith. I tell you, you get Mason and Smith and some of these guys, they jump through the roof. Look at the shooting now. 2 of 6, 1 of 7. B.J. Brown looking in against Diaw. Diaw comes in playing with 5 fouls. Too easy. Backdoor cut. Butler easily lays it in.
The Hornets taking the air out of the ball. That time P.J. Brown just waited for a back cut by Rasul Butler. Suns fell asleep. Easy layup.
Here's Roger Bell from outside at 2. And Bell, who had 16 points in the first, now has 19 in the ball game.
And there's a difference, Gary. I mean, the Suns taking long jump shots. New Orleans taking the ball to the basket. You can see that in the free throw attempts, but the Suns going to have to find a way to get some stops.
Points in the paint, 32 to back up what you're saying. The Hornets with 32 points in the paint, and we're going to have a foul, and this is going to go against Bell as Claxton goes down.
See P.J. Brown just waiting for the offense. Backdoor cut here. Nobody picks up for the Suns. Rasul Butler lays it in.
Side out. That will be, by the way, the 5th foul on Bell. So 2 players now for the Suns playing with 5 fouls. Diaw and Bell. 7:20 to go. Suns got to make a move here pretty soon. Off it goes in the corner. J.R. Smith, and that is a 3, and that is a big 3. 80-68. 12-point lead. Inside goes Bell. He just kept going. No one stopped him. And Roger Bell with 21 points. That ties his season high.
Roger just had a heck of a game. Love his aggressiveness there. Goes hard to the basket.
3rd time this year that Roger Bell has scored 20-plus points. P.J. Brown now picked up by Diaw. Brown brings it to Claxton. Claxton ducks in and gonna have a blocking foul. Claxton ducking inside. And they're going to call the foul on Marion, and Sean with his 4th. Boy, the Suns in some real foul trouble right now. 2 guys with 5, and now Marion with 4.
Well, they ran the same play where Butler got the back door. That time they go to Claxton. He rolls off the high pick and then just is very aggressive, takes in the basket and gets fouled.
Claxton hits the free throw. Claxton tonight, really a quiet 5 points in some ways, but he's so difficult to guard, and he just flies around out there. Mike D'Antoni's team in danger of losing 2 in a row. As Claxton makes it 82-70. Boy, the Suns have fought uphill all night long. Can they find a way? Marion into the corner. House is back in. Boy, it just isn't going. And do they miss that tonight? He's 1 of 11. If he was shooting anywhere close to what he's been doing, we'd have a different game. 0 for 6 behind the line tonight is Eddie House. West looking inside. Again, they're just taking their time, eating up some clock. 5 seconds left, and it comes to Butler, and House going up with him. And what's Mike Callahan got? 3 seconds in the lane? That's what he called. So now Paul is going to come back in for the Hornets, and Butler will lead.
Well, that time they saw Rasul Butler had a mismatch with Eddie House, but they just couldn't get it to him in time and ended up being 3 seconds. And now Eddie, who hasn't been able to find his stroke, is finally out of the game.
I tell you, this is the kind of game where you really miss the shooting of a James Jones, where he could stick the 3 from outside. House had to play a lot of minutes because they have a depleted bench.
But one of the strong points of the Suns all year long has been their bench, and now with 2 of their main guys, James Jones and Leandro Barbosa out, Brian Grant's gone, You're missing some of that.
Yeah, they have 11 points to back up.
And that's Pat Burt playing a heck of it.
Yeah, they average 31.7, Dan. That's a very good point you make. And they have only 11 tonight, and that's short. Rebound by West. So the Suns, who will journey out for a 3-game road trip at Dallas Wednesday. Then they go to Baton Rouge to play New Orleans. At Memphis Saturday, home against Seattle on Tuesday.
It's going to be about that time to push that panic button right now with
That's what I'm thinking.
6 minutes.
They are running out of time. 5.5 minutes left to go. And that was a desperation heave that time by Claxton. Had his ball knocked out of his grasp, tried to shoot it. 5.5 minutes to go. Who's going to get this thing going? Nash creating to Thomas. Beautifully done. 14 assists now for Nash.
Good two-man game there. Nash with another bounce pass to Thomas. Now you know the Hornets are going to come down, and every time down they're going to run that shot clock down, try to get a good shot. Suns got to play good defense for 24 seconds.
Here's P.J. Brown outside, picked up by Diaw. They swing it out to Paul. Paul goes inside. Now that was a major league play by Paul. I don't know how he found the opening, but he did.
Well, just ran the big man off the screen. Steve Nash had no help. Paul just laid it off the glass.
84-72. Paul now with 16 points. 4:50 left to go, and they turn it over again. 18 turnovers against the Suns. Paul, that little crossover, brings it out. Go West, the trailer. He can't get it, and Brian and Scott didn't like the quick shot.
No, you know, Paul did a good job of pulling that ball out and threw it to West. Not a good shot by West. He wanted to run a lot of time off it.
That'll count. Nash gets the bounce. They go to the line. And so with 4:32 left to go, the Suns have cut it to 10 as Nash, beautiful play inside.
Yeah, there. Drew the contact from the rookie, just throws it in, it goes in. Maybe that'll get the Suns going.
It's loud in here. Just look at that youngster. 84-74. The Suns down by 10.
Gary, I know you're ready for the JITB Celebrity Shootout. KISS FM and FSN Arizona present the 6th annual Jack in the Box Celebrity Shootout. Join LA-based celebrities, the entire Phoenix Suns team, Suns Dancers, Gorilla, and Audio Soul Patrol as they take to the court at 1 p.m. on Sunday, January 15th, in support of the Phoenix Suns charities, Suns Night Hoops, and Cox Charities. Get your tickets today at the America West Arena box office or call 480-784-4444.
Brilliant, just brilliant.
Brilliant! I smell cheese. That's my Moses Malone.
You know, they hired Moses Malone. Did you see that?
They what?
The Sixers hired Moses Malone to help them with their rebounding.
Yeah, and I heard Stephen Hunter didn't even show up.
Yeah, you hear that?
That's not very brilliant.
No, it's not. That's not brilliant at all. So Nash completes a three-point play. 84-75. Suns still have time, but it's getting short. Mason looking inside. Again, they'll milk the clock down with 10 on the shot clock. Smith with 8. To West with 6. West goes into the left hand. Awkward shot, my word. J.R. Smith almost followed from the backside. He was way above the rim. Out it comes now to Steve Nash. Nash with 11 points, 14 assists. Off it comes to Bell. Bell from the corner, inside 4 minutes to go. Bell will pop from there, not able to get it. So the Suns now shooting 45%, as is New Orleans.
Hornets did a good job getting back on defense there, not allowing the Suns to get the primary break or the secondary break. Made Bell take a tough jump shot.
And as Dan mentioned earlier, the Hornets are getting the ball inside. The Suns are launching from outside. Here's Paul now. Kicks it outside to Claxton. 3 on the shot clock. Paul with 1. It'll count if it goes, and that is a dagger to the heart.
Well, it's their night. They're running that shot clock down, and he threw up a desperation 3 there.
Paul with the 3 now has 19 points. 87-75. Sean Marion trying to create. Off to Thomas. Suns got to get a shot out. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Nash in trouble. Dumps it out with 4 seconds. Marion with 2. And boy, that was not a good sequence.
No, it wasn't. I mean, the Hornets playing good, solid defense, making the Suns kick it out. That time, Sean had nothing but to do is throw it up as the shot clock was running out.
Boy, this is a stunning setback right now. The Suns losing to the first-place Clippers, but meeting a team tonight who came in here with a 5-game losing streak, really struggling. And now the Suns in danger of losing 2 in a row. Chris Paul as the shot clock expired. Suns in danger of having their 8-game home winning streak snapped here tonight. The Spirit of Service Player of the Game is brought to you by Quest, where service makes all the difference. We're going to go with the rookie, Chris Paul. Pretty nice stat line.
Well, right on his averages there, and you're going to see why. He's very methodical, knows how to handle basketball, knows when to shoot, knows when to dish off, and talked about him not being a great shooter, but as with all great players, very timely.
Extremely timely, just under the wire.
Tell you, this would be a bad loss, Gary, especially when the Suns are going on this road trip. You need to win games like this at home, especially against teams that you're supposed to beat.
3-game road trip coming up against Dallas. They lost the season opener in overtime to the Mavericks. Then have to meet this team in Baton Rouge in the Pete Maravich Center. And the Hornets will look at this as their biggest win of the year as Paul misses. Rebound is cleared by Thomas. Suns have to be up in a hurry-up posture right now. Marion with a 3, and Marion not able to hit it. And the Suns now 6 of 18 behind the line. Marion tonight 6 of 13. Not the kind of night you would expect from Marion. 12 points and 9 rebounds.
No, and continues to struggle from the outside. They brought Eddie House back in, try to make a late push here. I'd like to see him swing the ball and give him one more chance of getting hot here with the last 2 minutes of the game.
And that's what we have. 2 minutes and now 10 seconds left in the game. Paul creating, gets it off to West. Not able to deliver. Look at Paul go up, fight for the rebound. It goes off of Paul. Paul, look at him. Look at Paul. I mean, this guy's a rookie. He doesn't play like one, does he? Here's Nash, a long 3, got it. Steve Nash, crowd over 3 points on. Fulton Home donates another $150 to Suns charities, and they still have a chance. 87-78. Now here's Paul. He's going to take some time off the clock. A minute 43. Now a 7 makes his move. Ball goes inside, not able to hit it. Rebound by Marion. Nash in a hurry. Into the corner. Bell with a 3. Hang on! It's not over. It's a 6-point game. Bell from the corner. And Bell with 24 points in the game.
Well, Paul made a rookie mistake there, went for the steal, allowing Steve Nash to get ahead of him. Defense had to pick him up. He threw it in the corner. Raja Bell's been hot all night. Maybe it's not too late as Steve Nash hits him, but he drops it. Ring the bell, Raja.
Raja Bell has not missed behind the 3-point line all night long. He's 5 of 5, and he just hit a big one a moment ago, cutting this to a 6-point game.
Well, Raja's been huge, and Chris Paul showing a little bit of a rookie mistake there, not allowing Steve Nash to get all the way to the basket and kick it out. Some timely shooting here. It's Nash, who hasn't had a great shooting night, pulls up and nails the first big 3, and then comes down with a nice assist as J.R. Smith has to pick up on Raja Bell. Raja has not missed from the line yet.
Suns now have 2 full timeouts in the 20, 1 for the Hornets in the 20. Both teams have a foul to give with a minute 27 left. West will bring it in now to Paul. Well, those 2 threes all of a sudden open the door.
The Suns got to play good defense, and you know that the Hornets are going to run down the clock, and they can't allow any offensive rebounds.
There's Paul. He dumps it inside now. Got Desmond Mason. Mason backing in with 7 and blocked. Here come the Suns again. Nash back the other way. House with a 3. Yes! It's a 3-point game. House with his first 3 of the night.
You know, he wasn't going to miss them all, Gary. What a tough shot by Eddie House.
55 seconds left. Suns trying to pull off a small miracle here. Here now is Claxton. Brings it out to Smith. Bell on in. Smith off balance shot. And Kurt Thomas hits the floor hard. And the Suns have it. Nash the other way. Kurt Thomas shaking it off. But boy, he hit the hard 4. And I mean, did not break it. Here's Nash with a 3. That would have tied it. And the ball in the corner. Wait a minute, stepping out of bounds was House as he tried to shoot the three from the corner. He was out of bounds. Still a three-point game with 25 seconds. And Nash hit that three, this place would have come apart.
I was coming apart. I was out of my seat, but what a tough job by Kurt Thomas. I think he'd really hurt himself. When
he's hurting. The small of his back is where he's hurting. I mean, he landed hard, shook it off, now trying to regroup during this timeout.
Raja Bell playing great defense. Kurt Thomas getting undercut. He just goes down hard, but that's one tough cookie right there. And Kurt Thomas got up, and it's just a gutsy effort by Thomas. Good defense by the Suns, and you're right. If Nash would hit that three, this play went unglued.
And then House was loading it up, and he just stepped out of bounds. So both teams now with a full and a 20 remaining timeout-wise. Eddie House, after the block, was able to score his first three of the night. Marion with the defensive move.
Yeah, Sean set up a great block, and this is the toughest shot that Eddie House has shot all night, and he just got a knack for making these big jumpers, and that was a tough one there. And got the Suns right back into it, and Nash had a good look at it, just didn't knock it down. Now the Suns down three here with 25 seconds, going to have to play good, tough defense. If they don't get the steal right away, you got to put them on the line and hope they miss.
Wonder if Kurt Thomas is going to be able to continue. I'm looking over there in the bench area.
I'd be shocked if he doesn't. That kid is one tough guy.
He is really tough. I mean, you can see the Suns not getting the line again, Dan, and that is an ongoing theme for this team.
Yeah, you know, this Hornet team, all very good free throw shooters. You look at Paul West, Claxton, Smith. They all shoot over 80%. P.J. Brown shoots 91%. So, you know, there's nobody really out there that you can foul that you can do. That's a liability at the line.
So here we go with the waning seconds of this one. The Suns came roaring back, hitting the threes to cut it to three, and with 25 seconds left to go, Hornets to inbound. They get it in to Smith. Roger Bell inside his uniform. Smith dribbling it. Bad pass. And they're going to have a foul. Roger Bell committed a foul. They were in trouble there because Claxton had nowhere to go with the ball.
I don't agree with that foul. They had nowhere to go. Their shot clock had almost, the 10-second clock, 8-second clock had almost run out, and they just trapped the ball hard. I have no idea why he called a foul.
I don't either.
That's a bad call.
That's a terrible call.
He bailed him out.
Did he ever? That was a terrible pass. Claxton had no place to go. So the foul now will set it up at midcourt for West to bring it in now with 18 seconds left.
Hornets were in danger of an 8-second call there.
Yes, they were. And there's a quick foul by Bell. And so they'll send Smith to the line. He's a good free throw shooter. He is shooting 83% on the season. That'll be the sixth foul on Bell. He leads with 24 points. What a great job by Bell. And now coming in will be Mason.
Now the Suns did a good job of trapping, and now here they just got Speedy Claxton nowhere to go, and he wanted to call a timeout there, and there's no foul.
No. I thought he had first called the timeout. So now Smith at the line, big free throws. Now it's a two-trip game. 4-point game. 88-84 with 17.6 seconds left. Smith now with 23 points in the game. He got them both. Timeout, Suns. D'Antoni is still arguing with Callahan over the play we were talking about earlier, where it looked like they were in a lot of trouble trying to maybe get a timeout. Instead, the foul was called. And so we'll come back to finish it up. Suns down 89-84. So, Dan, what can they do? What will they do right away?
Well, you know, the Hornets have a foul to give, so I expect them to let the Suns bring it down and then foul them and make them take them out of the take it out of bounds. But the Suns have to get a quick basket, try to get a steal. If they don't get it, they got to foul right away. And again, hope the Hornets miss a free throw.
So Jackson will inbound. Diaw's in there. We mentioned Bell is fouled out. Marion and House and Nash. They need a basket in a hurry. Let's see how quickly they use this foul that you were talking about. Jackson brings it out to House, and House shakes loose for a three. He got it. He got the three. And House is going to have Fulton Homes donates another $150 to Suns charity. 89-87. Inbound now to Smith. Smith is going to be fouled. Are you surprised that the Hornets didn't use a foul?
I'm amazed. First of all, they didn't use a foul, and I'm sure Byron Scott's saying over there, why didn't you switch the pick and roll? One guy on the floor you're not going to leave open is Eddie House, and he's going to come off the screen. The big man, I don't know where he's at, doesn't step up. Eddie House makes him pay, and then I'm not exactly sure what Boris Diaw was thinking either. As soon as that ball was in bounds, he's got to foul right away, not only seconds run off the clock.
And that is Diaw fouling out. Now, Dijon Thompson is coming to the ball game. So Diaw is fouled out. Bell is fouled out. And at the line is Smith, who hit 2 free throws just a moment ago. He is 8 of 8 tonight.
Yeah, and shooting 83% on the year. So a bad guy to have at the line.
And he nails another one. 3-point game. This is a huge free throw here. If he makes it a 4-point game, if he misses, the Suns have a chance to tie this game. Give him credit. He had 4 pressure-packed free throws. 22nd timeout by the Suns. Now down 91-87. No timeouts left for Phoenix.
No, and I expect him to run another pick and roll from House, and I expect the Hornets to switch out or something, not allow him to get the wide-open jumper, but the Suns got to find a way to get a 3 here and then foul right away again. And then, if the Hornets make 2, they can still come down and tie it up.
And again, the Hornets still have that foul to give with 11.6 seconds left. Tell you, J.R. Smith has 26 points. Paul has 19 points. And both of those guys are 20 years old playing in the backcourt. Bodes well for the Hornets' future. Suns have lost 2 guys by the foul route, Diaw and Bell. Bell had a big game tonight, 24 points. So Jackson will inbound again. Dijon Thompson in the game now after Diaw fouled out. He's a good 3-point shooter. Mike Callahan taking his time, sets it up, ready to go. Jackson, DeMarion. Out it comes to Jackson. Jackson quickly left it short. Rebound is cleared by Paul. Paul dribbling out the remainder of the game. And so the Hornets break a 5-game losing streak. The Suns have their 8-game home winning streak snapped. They dropped to 13-7. The Hornets now are 9-12.
Well, the Suns made a run at it just a little bit too late. You can't let a team come into your building and have a chance to win it in the 4th quarter. The Hornets did a good job of controlling the tempo all night long.
Thanks to our producer, David Hughes, and our director, Bob Adlock. Our next Suns game on FSN Arizona is Friday, December 23rd against the Washington Wizards. Suns countdown starts at 6:30 p.m. now for a complete look at what's happening in the Arizona sports scene, including comments from Mike D'Antoni and the Suns. It's time now for the Arizona Sports Report with Terry Chick.